Good morning, everybody, and today I'm joined by Fiona Hood, owner of Renaissance Hair and Beauty on Maiden Lane in Stamford. Good morning, Fiona.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. I'm very good indeed. We've got a lot to cover today. Following the recent announcement from the government, of course, that there are, slightly eased restrictions in parts. I think, however, we'll talk about it in a moment. You're obviously feeling a little bit frustrated, well, very much so, that you, as a small independent business, in charge of what you're doing with your business, and you've done lots of infection control that you got in place for your clients and your staff. You were hoping, I think, for some better news. I think it's looking like possibly beginning of July at the earliest for you to be opening your salon. But before we go into touch on that and where you feel you are with all of that, Fiona, just give me some background on you and your salon, because you've been in the town for quite some years, haven't you? You're quite an iconic salon in the town. Tell me a bit about you, please, and your background.
So I started the salon in July, actually will be 26 years ago. So I started the business when my son was very small, and at the time when I started, I was only the third salon to open. So since that period of time, I've, through personal problems, had to take the salon down to much smaller, and then 3 years ago make it bigger again and incorporate a hair salon as well. So ever changing, ever exciting, lots of ups and downs, but we're still here.
So how have you seen this industry change in that time?
The changes are really enormous, actually. One of the things that I have always been really fascinated with is machine-based treatments and high tech, which is really my bag. That's what makes me get out of bed in the morning. The things that you can get great results with really, really quickly. Yes, you can do that with a hands-on treatment. You can do it with a cosmeceutical, but you can do it a lot better with the help of a machine. So that's always been my big thing. And of course, that has really exploded, particularly in the last couple of years. But I would say probably the major changes are the things like sanitation and the way that we look after that kind of thing in the salon. For instance, when I very first trained in beauty therapy, when I was at college and we used hot wax, we strained the hairs out.
Oh.
When we used electrolysis, we sterilized the needles in between clients. You know, I mean, we are talking quite a long time ago. We are talking early 80s, but, you know, that has changed enormously. I mean, you would not even consider doing things like that now.
Yeah.
So that has been the biggest change, and the way the industry has exploded. When I first qualified, it was really difficult to find salons that would be looking for taking staff on, because it wasn't a particular regular thing that people did. It was something that people did as a treat, or people who
holiday, for example.
Yeah, not even that, but that kind of came on when people started to have manicures, and maybe treatments came down a little bit in price, and more things came on board, that different skincare lines. And suddenly, I mean, now the demographic of people that have beauty treatments are right from young, sort of late teens, right through. I have clients in their 80s. So it's a massive market now, with lots of different scope for lots of different people. So it's a very exciting industry to be in.
So tell me about the range of products you offer at your salon, please. Give me an idea of what your typical client could be coming to you, and why they need help.
So our speciality really is organic and green products. Not all our products are organic and green, and there are reasons why I don't use those for some treatments, but all our hair care is organic. my main range of treatment products is a cosmeceutical line, and that is by a company called Medicate, and they were the first green cosmeceutical in the UK.
So what does that mean, Fiona? I don't know what cosmeceutical means.
So when you look at skincare, you can go into Boots or Superdrug or anywhere else and you can buy a product off the shelf. Next stage on from that is a product that you would go and you would only be able to buy in a salon. A product like, for instance, my other range that I do, Gino, something like, although you can buy something like Clarins or Dermalogica, you would only be able to buy that in a bigger store. Next stage on from that is a cosmeceutical. So that is a product that is hugely efficient in what it does. It's not about the packaging, how beautiful it looks. It's not about how great it smells, how pretty it looks on your shelf. And I'm not saying that some products aren't efficient. There are those things. There are some gorgeous products around. But the reason I chose Medicate is because it does what it says on the tin. It's very plain packaging. It doesn't particularly smell of anything, but it works. And the philosophy of a product like that is that the philosophy of it is called CSA. So it's basically a vitamin C serum in the morning, a vitamin A serum at night, and your sunscreen. The most important product you ever buy is your sunscreen, factor 30 every day.
That's very interesting.
As far as the hair care side goes, everything we have is organic. The products that our two main product ranges are both British products, which I really like. They're made in the UK. Medicate was a very tiny company when it started with one scientist. They now have 20 in a lab, which is amazing. Organic Colour Systems is the hair care range that we do. We have all the colour is organic, and that is made in a small factory in the New Forest. So they can guarantee that anything that we order into the salon is never more than 2 weeks old. Fresh as anything, very vibrant colour. It takes a little bit longer to take, but the product lasts longer in that some clients that previously used to have a colour every 4 weeks maybe now come in every 6, and their colour is still fresh when they come back. It's just for regrowth.
How do the prices compare to other more chemical based?
In salon treatments, about the same. Probably take home treatments maybe a little bit less. So because you're not paying for the packaging, you're not paying for the advertising, you're paying for the product that's actually in that box. So everything is packaged in recycled plastic, or some of the stuff from Medicate is plastic that's come from the sea, and everything is recyclable as well. The waste that we put out in the salon every week, our recycle pile is much, much more than our little pile that has to go out to the council. So that's really great. Yeah,
that's really great. So give me an idea of some of the treatments that you offer then, please.
In beauty treatments, there are 2 of us therapists. So Sienna is our therapist that offers lashes, nails. She does a great sports massage, and facials. And we've just been on one of the latest Medicate facials course. And just before we went into lockdown, we just started to introduce those into the salon. So it's really disappointing that we haven't been able to do that properly yet. We've had to cancel a lot of clients that were booked in. Annalie is our hairdresser. She's the Organic Colour System specialist. So she does all kinds of different colour techniques, cutting, styling with all the different organic products. And my bag really is the high-tech stuff. So machine-based treatments and things like plasma, skin lifting, needle-free mesotherapy. I do treatments for thread vein removal on the face, electrolysis, lots of non-surgical facelifting and light rejuvenation treatments. That's mostly what my day incorporates, is clients coming for that.
Wow. Now, you touched on it very briefly there. You said you'd been on some of a training course with Medicate. I mean, I suppose for me as a consumer, you kind of feel that you'd want to go to a salon where there is a lot of training and a lot of experience before I spend my money on something that is, quite a luxurious thing to have done, but to know that I've got that peace of mind that someone's been trained well and experienced very well in using it. Tell me about the kind of, and that in part of the industry and your experience and what you offer your staff and therefore your clients, Fiona.
So we're, as a therapist, really that when you first train, it's a bit like learning to drive. You get in the car and then you start learning. And that's what beauty therapy is like. You do the basics and you learn how to do a facial massage or a body massage, but all of the companies that you go to, if you're offering a Gino facial or a Medicate facial, they all have their own way of doing things, and they all have their particular products, and the ranges are vast. So you know that you're constantly going to have to retrain. They're constantly also bringing out new products, so you have to learn. They take products out, they replace them. Why have they replaced them? And clients want to know those things as well. What will this do on my skin? What will it feel like? What adverse effect might I get from it? So you need to know all of that stuff. And in order to be fully insured, you need to have been trained properly in everything. And obviously insurance is hugely important.
Yeah, because there's certainly, there seems to be, everywhere you look, new salons, new treatments, home beauty therapists that come out to see you, and certainly there's a need and a place for lots of those businesses as well. But like I say, the experience that you get, I think, is really valuable when you're talking about your skin. And I suppose again, you slightly mentioned it there, people have a lot of questions. There's a lot of research available online, and people do their fact finding before they come to see you. So that's
and not all of it is correct. So, there are a lot of myths out there. There are a lot of people selling things online that are fakes. There are, selling things online that don't work, don't do what they say they're going to do. One of my biggest problems with my retail sales is the internet. Companies offering products at much, much cheaper prices, but sometimes they're not real, and sometimes they're out of date, because a cosmeceutical or a good skincare product will always have a date on it that it has to be used, an expiry date, where it's fresh until that point. So it's really important that I think that, you take advice from your therapist and you buy from your therapist, because you know how long that product's been there. And you know that if you are going to have a problem, that your therapist can put that right. Mm-hmm. Because let's face it, if you're using very efficient products, there will always be people that maybe have an adverse reaction, and we need to know why that has happened. And sometimes it's they're using it incorrectly, and sometimes it's just that their skin is not good with that product. So we can send that back to the company that we buy it from, and we can give them feedback about that. So it's always, I think, really important that you stick with your therapist when you're using your retail.
I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Now, clearly you're not in your lovely salon. I bet you're missing it in your colleagues terribly, and all of your clients. So you obviously you couldn't really adapt your business anyway. Similar to us, showing people around homes. Yes, I've got our property tour videos that I can email out to people, and they can have a really good guided tour by me around the home that we've recorded, pre-lockdown. But we can't adapt in any way, and you can't. It's a very personal, literally hands-on business, so you can't be adapting yours in any way. But what have you done, and in the meantime, how have you been looking after your business, and what has it given you the opportunity to do whilst you haven't been in the salon every day?
So I've been into the salon and I have done lots of painting. I've really spruced the place up. Lots of cleaning. I've ordered a steam cleaner for the floor. Loads of PPE coming to my house, which I've had to then take down to the salon. So one of my clients has a business where she makes clothes, and she is now in the process of making us some masks for when we go back. I didn't want to use disposable masks. I think it's really important to keep those for people on the front line. And we have laundry facilities at the salon, so we can wash everything in 60-degree washes, and we can make sure that's all clean. So I thought that was quite a good idea to do that. I've ordered covers for the treatment couches, so we can sanitize them in between clients, and stockpiling hand sanitizer and all kinds of cleaners and that kind of thing. And we've all of us been at home contacting our clients and chatting to them or messaging them, answering any queries that they may have.
What are they saying to you, Fiona, about, as and when, we get the green light to go? Are they wanting to book appointments with you now? Have you got a book going that you can, transfer to the right start date? How's it working?
We all have our books at home, and we have been approached by some clients that want to make appointments, which we can take appointments, but obviously it's a movable feast, so we don't actually know. Once we have a date, then we will be contacting everybody that was already booked in, and some people that are not so regular, to see if they want appointments. The feedback we've had is that everyone's desperate for us to come back. Obviously, much more so for the hair side of it. People are really desperate. And I know Annalise had a lot of support from Organic Colour Systems, in that if clients want to buy, they do a range of organic box colours for certain hair colours. And for products, they have been taking the orders and sending them direct to customers. So that's been great. I'm in the process of ordering a little home-based machine that I'm going to try out on myself, and if I think it's good enough, I will be offering that to clients for home use, to see them through until we go back, and then to back up their treatments when we do go back, because a lot of my clients come in for regular treatments based on a course of treatments.
Gosh, so they've been stopped halfway through their course.
Yeah, so if you have a course of treatment and then you need to come in every month to keep your results going, then obviously those results are going to go away. So they either need to come back in and have a mini course when they start again, or what I'm hoping is maybe this little gadget will be able to get them back and just keep them going until maybe we may not be able to fit everybody in that wants courses initially, because I think we're probably going to be inundated with people who want to come back. So
yeah, so certainly it's looking like probably July the 4th at the earliest. I mean, yeah, fingers crossed, but I think you were, as a small business owner, you were probably hoping that would be similar for you, because we just spoke briefly before starting this, didn't we, that as a small business, you could offer one-to-one. It could literally be one day you're in the salon, next day it's it's your colleague, couldn't you? And that seems so frustrating.
We actually have very specific areas in that the hairdressing is downstairs, then my bit is on the first floor, Sienna's bit is on the second floor. So if we stagger our clients, we've also got an entry phone system, so we can stop just anyone walking in through the door. So we can make sure that our environment is really, really clean. We can sanitize in between everyone, and we can make sure that there is a 2-meter distance for anyone that any chance has to wait. We will obviously make sure that people only come in by themselves. We do have quite a lot of clients that maybe bring their children to sit and wait, or their husband sits and waits. We won't be able to offer that facility. We probably won't offer magazines for them to read. They perhaps have to bring their own.
But really, I suppose if it's a one-on-one treatment, they're not going to hopefully be waiting anyway, are they? So they can come straight in.
We have 2 waiting areas anyway. We have one down in the main area. The hairdressing bit is at the back of the salon, so there's a separate bit where someone can wait there, and we also have a sofa upstairs, so we can make sure that people are well apart, because a lot of my clients are in the over 70s bracket, so I want to make sure that they feel comfortable when they come in, that it is a safe environment for them to come, because a lot of them haven't been out very much and they will want to come back. I actually truly believe that we can offer a more safe environment that maybe even a shop can, because we can make sure that everything
is coming and going, aren't you?
Yeah, we can completely control that, and we can clean in between. So we have a very high standard of hygiene in the salon anyway. It's not going to take that much, but obviously, you know, previously we wouldn't have gone round and wiped all the door handles and cleaned the sink after every single person, but we will be doing things like that now. So that all does take a little bit of time.
I really hope that becomes best practice anyway, because I've certainly been in places, not necessarily locally, but, you know, if you whatever, and you really feel that perhaps, you know, that you've literally been in between clients and you don't really feel confident that the therapist has necessarily washed her hands or anything in between. You know, doing
really important to do that in front of clients before you even start the treatment. The first thing you do when you're welcoming them is washing your hands while they're getting ready. So that's really important. It always is important. There are some treatments obviously that we will be able to wear gloves for. I'm hoping that when they do give us the guidelines, they don't expect us to do facials with gloves on, because it really won't feel very nice. But if we have to, we will. But I think, you know, if we've got good standards of hygiene, we've all done extra courses while we've been off. So we've done extra qualifications. One of them that I've done is a specific COVID-19 course that explains about how to make sure everything is clean, including hand washing. And so I think we're all set, hopefully. We're just waiting now, really.
Waiting to get that book open and to be able to, you know, start your treatments and you know, work with your clients again, who I'm sure, you know, you've had a very long-standing relationship with, and that peace of mind and that, you know, that presence that you have, it must be so reassuring to people that have always valued that as being something unique from your salon, Fiona. So I think your existing customers will be really reassured that they've always experienced that from you, and they will be able to have an increased, you know, amount of that peace of mind. I think it's...
Well, I don't think actually it's necessarily that some of them just come in for beauty treatments. You know, they've become friends. Some clients have been coming for the whole 26 years. You know, you kind of grow up with somebody. You know, I was 30 when I started that business, so you know, it's you grow up through your children leaving home, then grandchildren being born, and you feel part of those people. So it's really, I have so missed that interaction with my clients while I've been off. And you know, it's not the same talking on the phone as when you're up close to someone. And you know, we all have that with our clients, and it's difficult to give up, really.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we wish you and your family all the very best of health, and of course your colleagues that are desperate, of course, to get back into, you know, just to continue with their work and their ongoing training, which, you know, I can definitely detect is really of, you know, personal importance to you and your own development in your salon, and how you've seen it progress and develop over the years. So thank you for your time. Please, everybody, do follow Renaissance Hair and Beauty on Facebook. Fiona put some lovely posts up there and a lot about the products and tips and advice, and as and when it's safe for us all to resume and to start our treatments again, you know, make contact with Fiona and her team, and they'll be delighted to help you and welcome into their very clean and protected environment. So Fiona, thank you for your time. It's fascinating hearing about your insight into how the industry's changed and how it's all moved on, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Speak to you soon.
Okay.